All right. Um, Let me share the link first so that we can promptly start. I'm so excited for tonight. Can you feel the excited in my voice? I put up the Christmas tree, lighted Christmas tree in my background, and there's also this. I didn't open the LED light anymore because it's going to be too bright that you won't be able to read pageantry norms. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you are. This is the season 3 premiere of Pageantry Norms. My God, I can't believe it that we have reached this far with this online program. And tonight is going to be very special. First of all, this is the first time that we're going to have a program on a Monday evening because we need to adjust to our very special guests tonight. Um, for our episode 2 on December 6th, we'll be going back to our usual Sunday afternoon time slot. But tonight, we will focus on the ladies who have um, who won the crowns of Miss Earth yesterday. Before anything else, let me give a big shout out. My God, we have some early birds here. Shout out to Arvel John Suyo, Vince Darrell Falconitin, um, out there they're watching from Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah, I miss Vietnam. Well, anyways, tonight instead of us talking about heavy environmental stuff, we will focus on the individual personalities of the four guests. We want to see the fun side of them, and we want to make sure that they will also laugh and share stories that will also encourage you to ask questions. I encourage you to please ask questions because towards the latter part of this program, we will be opening the forum for questions coming from our viewers. Again, shout out to Jerome Barredo Valera, who's from Zamboanga City. Yes, hello there. Yes, so I am going to introduce them one by one, and then we'll go into a discussion afterwards. Our first guest for tonight is our newly crowned Miss Fire 2020. She's hot, really hot. She's like, well, she's an actress, so the beauty is undeniable. And before I mispronounce her name again, I will introduce to you our Miss Earth Fire 2020 from Denmark. Welcome, Micahala Rubenstein. Micahala, hello, good evening to you, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Hello, Micahala.
Hello, good evening, and you pronounce my name perfectly.
I need to do
Absolutely
that.
perfect.
Yeah, because I was telling the host of Miss Earth, Catherine, the voiceover, Catherine. Wow, Catherine, you pronounce the names of all the 84 eco angels perfectly. You must have studied long and hard in order to do that. And I'm happy that I asked you that I'm pronouncing your name right, Nicola Rubenstein. You said
Yes,
earlier, the backstage, that you're actually from outside of Copenhagen. But
yes.
what part would that be?
It's north of Copenhagen, so it's only like 20 minutes away in car.
Okay, so what's the weather like in no, Copenhagen right now?
I mean, I'm looking out the window right now, and it's pretty gloomy. I have to say, it's winter has come to Copenhagen. That's for sure. It's
Oh
very
my
cold.
God,
Yeah.
winter is such a foreign term for us here in the Philippines. We have not experienced snow. We have not experienced freezing weather. We always experience cuddly bed weather, Mikala.
Come here, you will.
Oh my! And I want to see the Little Mermaid also in
Yes.
Denmark. Yeah, and it's going to be fun. Okay, let me introduce the other three queens first. Next is our Miss Earth Water 2020. I'm so proud of this girl. It's like I always call her. She's like my daughter because we look alike somehow. Don't you think so? Well, anyways, hello again. Shout out to Jana Lumagod Miller, Kent Neil Fernandez from Cotabato City as well. Okay, our Miss Earth Water. And believe me, rather, she is the very first to be guest in this program three times. The first was when she won Miss Philippines Earth. The second time was when I featured some of the Eco Angels in one of the episodes in the midst of the competition. And this time, as Miss Earth Water 2020, please welcome Roxanne Allison Baeyens, or I fondly call Roxy. Hello, Roxy.
Hi, Tito! Congratulations on your third season, and I do agree with what you just said.
Thank you so much, Roxy. I'm really so proud of you, dear, because I know you worked hard for this. When I say you worked hard for this, it's just an understatement because you really went out of your way. And I believe I was one of the first who mentioned that Roxy has already mastered the art of a virtual competition because back during the Miss Philippines Earth Days, you were really still struggling for to perfect the presentations. But now, my God, especially when I saw you during my judging of the sportswear competition, and I saw you walk. Is it was it Baguio Country Club or Camp John Hay when you were dressed up like a lady golfer?
It was in Baguio Country Club, Tito.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're reminding me again of Baguio Country Club when you really made me green with envy because you were with the Miss
Yeah.
Universe Philippines candidates at the time. But my God, you look so gorgeous in all your presentations. My God, and you know the funny thing is, of course, there's no problem here mentioning some brands or anything like that. Your commercial for a coffee brand has been strongly airing on national TV all throughout the pandemic.
Really,
My
Tito?
God, my God, this brand must have really they hit the jackpot for getting you as the
Ah.
lead talent of that coffee brand because my God, I would sometimes call, well, where's Pam Cruz? Where's Pam Cruz? And then, oh no, it's Roxy Baeyens, not Pam
In the
Cruz.
comments too, Tito. Hi, Pam Cruz.
Hi, Pam Cruz. No, because
I'd be like, hi.
I really love the way you were styled. And later on, we will talk about that fabulous evening gown made by Rian Fernandez for you. And I have a very special question about that later. Okay, we'll introduce first the two other queens. Next on our list, she comes from the other side of the world, literally. She comes from South America, the land of the continent of beautiful women, and Venezuela, the land of winning beauty queens. She is, mind you, the very first Venezuelan to actually win the Miss Earth Air title, although Venezuela has already had two winners before, Alexandra Brown Valdec and Alice Henrich. But friends, please help me welcome all the way from Venezuela, Miss Earth Air 2020, Stephany Zreik. Steffi,
Stephany Zreik.
hello.
Hello,
Hola,
Tina. How are
Steffi.
you?
I'm so glad to see you tonight again. And we're going to have fun tonight. But of course, your interpreter beside you will be very handy because if we talk about Maracaibo later, I'll be asking you and quite a number of questions about it because we want to talk about you, where you're from, and what's so special about the place that uh,
Okay.
you
And hello, everyone. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. It's an honor for me to be here. I am Stephany Zreik, and I'm from Venezuela. I was born in Maracaibo, state of Zulia, but I grew up and studied in Valencia, state of Carabobo. Well, I am a lawyer. I consider myself disciplined, kind, self-confident, and most importantly, an empathetic woman. And it's a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you so much.
and most importantly, gorgeous.
Yeah,
Gorgeous
thank
woman.
you, Tito.
I love you, Stephanie. Your national costume. My God, when I showed it on my Instagram account, they were just saying, "Wow, wow, the national costume is a winner." I really
Yeah,
love it.
I'm really proud.
The entire ensemble is very, very beautiful. But later, your interpreter will really come in handy because some of the questions will have to be translated by him. But no worries, this is going to be a fun night for all of us. Okay, I'll be back with you, Stephanie. Let me just introduce our final guest for tonight. This lady, well, she's actually, well, she originated from Brownsville, Pennsylvania, but she's now based in the Big Apple in New York. And she's a model, among many other things. There are so many things. This lady is so multi hyphenated that I could not pinpoint which of those um, classifications I would put her under because she's so talented. Friends, let us welcome the very first American to win the Miss Earth crown, Miss Earth 2020, and the very first Miss Earth to win the pageant in a virtual competition. Welcome, Lindsey Marie Coffey. Hello,
Hi.
Lindsey. Hello.
Hello. Thank you so
I,
much for that introduction. Oh my goodness.
oh my God, that introduction is it's nothing because I'll be talking so many things, so many other things with you. Um, well, less about Pennsylvania, more about New York.
New
But
York.
when I said earlier that you're such a multi hyphenated lady, it's because you have done so many things. You graduated with a degree in political science.
Yes.
You also studied communication arts, professional writing. You did theater.
Yeah.
You did civic education. You went to different countries. We will talk about those different countries you visited later. And I'm pretty sure that you get booked a lot by your modeling agency. You're with women. Is that correct? Women management, or yeah,
Yes,
are
in
you
New York.
in New York? And I'm sure. I'm pretty sure you miss all the shoots running around Manhattan and attending go sees and saying if you get
Yes.
a job or something. But I'm really happy that well, if not for the pandemic, you won't have a lot of time in your hands to really do this.
I
But
know. This was the perfect
yeah,
timing.
yeah, it's destiny, and it's destiny that you won as well. I'm
I
so
know.
happy.
It's
Yeah,
crazy. Thank you so much.
and I'm pretty sure you've been congratulated so many times already.
I don't get tired of it.
Instead of giving you endless congratulations, I would rather that we focus on the fun stuff about Lindsey Marie Coffey because I'm pretty sure a lot. I'm racking my brains out, Lindsay, trying to think of questions to ask, questions that have not yet been asked among the four of you. It's hard. It's not easy because
No, I'm sure that's
um,
difficult.
it's difficult, but I tried. I really tried, and I hope that you will have fun answering a few of them later.
Oh,
Now,
absolutely.
we'll start with the discussion now. Direct, can we have all the five of us in one screen because this is going to be a common discussion. I want to share the entire screen with the four queens because I'm the fifth. The fifth is here. Yeah. Hello, ladies. Again. All right. My first three questions, it's a common question for the four of you. So, which means that I will give time for each one of you to answer this first common question. My first question is this. If you, it's kind of environmental, but on the lighter side. If you could plant a tree seedling for every congratulatory message that you have received since the time you were crowned winners, where will you plant these seedlings so that you can erect a tree memorial in your honor? All right. Lindsay, please answer the question first. Have you
I
counted the number of congratulations you have received so far?
Oh my goodness. There's been so many. I honestly, it would be impossible to even count. So
All
I
right.
tried like
So if we will, each congratulation will be a tree seedling that you will plant. Where will you plant all those tree seedlings so that we can put up a tree memorial in your honor?
The very first thought that occurred to me was just somewhere. I think I'm frozen. Am I frozen?
No, no, it's okay now.
Okay. So my very first thought was just kind of like where it all began, like where I grew up, and just coming from such a small town and moving to the city. I've had so many transitions in my life, but just probably just, yeah, where it all started. So where I was born and where I grew, where I really became Lindsey. So I guess, yeah, in like Centerville, Pennsylvania, and maybe even just in my backyard. I know obviously if it's a memorial, I wouldn't want to have like all these strangers trespassing on my property. But like, of course, for that particular reason, I would do that just because when I think of a memorial, it's intimate. So I would want it to, I want it to be the most intimate experience possible. So yeah, it'd probably be right in my backyard.
Very well said. Stephany, okay. If you can plant a tree for every congratulation that you have received, where will you plant them?
Well, as I mentioned before, it's a big challenge in my life to be here speaking in English because 1 year ago I didn't know any English, but I will put all my effort in your interview, okay? But in this time, this is an important question for me, and I prefer to speak in my native language because in Spanish I'm more natural and self-confident. So, necesitaría un sitio muy grande porque he recibido muchísimos mensajes, así que son muchas semillas.
Well, first of all, I think I would need a very large land plot because I have received many congratulatory messages.
Creo que sin duda escogería uno de los jardines más hermosos de mi amada Venezuela, porque es aquí donde quiero que me recuerden todas las personas.
I would definitely choose probably one of the most beautiful gardens here in Venezuela because it is here in my country where I want to be remembered.
Thank you, Tito.
Thank you so much, Stephany. How about you, Roxy? I know you're surrounded by trees, mountains, and cold weather, and handsome men as well. Can you please answer the question?
Yes, as for the congratulatory messages, I think that would be impossible to count. But if I do plant trees in a certain place, it would definitely have to be in Cagayan, areas in Cagayan or Isabela. In that way, maybe soil erosions would lessen and floods would lessen. And maybe I would plant bamboo trees because they're deep-rooted and they're really highly impacted, mostly amidst the typhoon that recently happened. So I would love to do that for them. And you actually gave me an idea, Tito. Maybe I'm gonna go there and plant some bamboos.
Excellent. Excellent, dear. Bamboos. I love bamboos. Not the singer, but the plants, the trees, rather. Okay, Micahala, how about you?
So that is a really good question. I think I would probably plant in the Amazon or Congo. I think we definitely need to preserve our tropical forest. I think those are the forests that we really need to preserve the most. Someplace I have actually already been planting trees is in Israel. So I think I would go back and plant more because that's something that I am already doing and I'm very passionate about.
Thank you so much, Micahala. You'll be going to Congo in the Amazon rainforest. I thought you will be just heading outside of Copenhagen, maybe plant a tree in the snow or something like that. But anyways, okay, so we're done with the first question. We're now to our second question. A common question for all of you. If Miss Earth 2020 was a physical pageant and not virtual, do you think you would have done as well? Lindsey?
Honestly, I mean, of course, I think we all wish that it could have been in person. And I was so looking forward to that, especially because I haven't really done that before. So I don't know how I would have, I guess, performed since maybe more nerves would have came since I hadn't done this before. But honestly, I feel like I really do kind of shine in person. And I just have that type of energy where I really like to connect with people physically, like in the moment. So I honestly think I would have done like pretty well. So I am curious to see how well exactly, but I do feel I would be very confident about it. And I mean, I would have loved to see the in-person live Lindsey just as much as the virtual. But overall, yeah, I think I would have done pretty okay.
I would have wanted you to be here in the Philippines as well. Stephany, how about you?
Thank you for this question. Estoy segura que si el concurso hubiera sido presencial, el éxito hubiera sido el mismo, solo que con muchísimo más cariño y hubiera podido sentir todas las emociones y todos los aplausos que online no se pudieron sentir de igual manera.
I like to believe that I would have performed just as well if the pageant would have been in person. Probably the only difference is that I would have felt the excitement more because I would be there with the people and feel the love of the people.
Thank you so much. Muchas gracias, Stephany. You know, I've always felt that this virtual pageant has allowed all the eco angels to express their intelligence and their personalities even more than a physical pageant. So that is the good part of a physical pageant. Roxy, how about you, my dear?
Well, a physical pageant would have been really nice, Tito, and having that experience with all these eco angels and have build friendships personally. But I think, the virtual is still a good idea to push through. And I think I also want to believe that I would do just as well, because if you set your mind and heart to something, then you would really shine. And if it's for you, it's for you. There's that thing called destiny. So I think virtual or not, I would have done my best and I would have made it as far as right now.
My goodness, Roxy, you really answer like my real daughter. Huh? You're really meant to be a queen. Micahala, how about you, Micahala?
Yes, I mean, while I would have loved to go to the Philippines and feel the instant connection with everyone and also all of the girls and everyone there, I do think that having the pageant virtually has given such an opportunities for everyone to really see our personalities. I mean, we're so much online and doing live shows online and putting materials out online that we connect in a completely new way where people can really get to see who you are. So I think it is like such an amazing opportunities. It's hard to say. I mean, would have I done as well? I don't know, but I certainly hope so that my personality would shine through the same way that it has online.
Thank you so much, Micahala. I love the way you answer question, just like Angelina Jolie. Yes. Okay, ladies, something very light now. You've been doing this virtual pageant for months now. So what food would you like to indulge in after months of diet? Lindsey.
Well, I mean, my diet wasn't super clean. I mean, I always do indulge every now and then because I'm all about balance. So I would say, I don't know why, but like this morning, because it's 8 a.m. almost now. But this morning, I literally woke up and I messaged my friend. I was like, I really want a veggie burger right now. So like that was my instant craving this morning. So I think I'm actually probably going to get one today just because I really wanted one this morning. Yeah, so I'm going to say veggie burger.
My God.
And sweet potato fries. I love sweet potato fries.
Yes, it's an indulgence for you, veggie burger. I'd rather go to White Castle or do an In-N-Out burger, Lindsey. Those are the real burgers for me. Yeah, Stephany, how about you, mi amor?
I really want to go to McDonald's. Sorry.
Really? Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love hamburger.
Yeah, and because of the pandemic also, it prevented me to actually eat McDonald's every day. But Roxy, how about you? Is there anything that you'd like to indulge in your cold city?
Well, definitely. Since it's very cold now here in Baguio, I would choose sinigang. And during the pageant, I had to cut eating pork to maintain the figure, but I would definitely like eat a bowl of sinigang. And I hope my queen sisters, when they visit the Philippines, they would be able to taste that too. And I know how to cook sinigang, so maybe I'm gonna cook for them.
Perfect. For the information of the three other queens, what Roxy just mentioned, sinigang, is like one of the staple sour soups we have here. You can cook it either with pork, with shrimp, with fish, or with just plain vegetables and add seasoning. And it's going to be one of the first things Roxy will feed all of you when you go here to the Philippines soon. Micahala, how about you? Tell me, what do you indulge in?
First of all, Roxy, I would love to go to the Philippines and try this soup. I love soups. I haven't really, to be honest, been dieting. I have such a sweet tooth, and I mean, I have been a vegetarian for 8+ years, and I learned many years ago that dieting doesn't really work for me. I have to just maintain a healthy lifestyle that works for me, where I can kind of eat whatever I want as long as I eat it in moderation. So honestly, I haven't really been dieting. I have to be honest about that. But something that I really am looking forward to eating that I haven't had this year is a Danish winter dish called risengrød. I don't know if they have it in other countries, but it's basically rice pudding, and you sprinkle it with cinnamon and sugar and maybe clove. And it's just such like a Christmassy thing, and you only eat it in December. So that's something that I really look forward to eating.
That sounds very sweet, Micahala. When you say it's pudding, it's going to be very sweet and it's going
Yes.
to be fun to eat regardless of whether it's the winter or Christmas or. Okay, now we're going to do some geography here, and I will ask each one of you to tell me something very unique about the places you live in right now that we still don't know yet. I'm pretty sure this will be a little tougher for Lindsay because I know a lot about New York. But tell me something about New York that few people know about.
That's that's very difficult, I would say, because I feel like everyone knows something about New York. There's I mean, there are a lot of hidden gems, like when it comes to mom and pop shops and restaurants and stuff that are honestly like a hole in the wall, like store that you would kind of walk past and not see. There is this one restaurant. You would miss it completely walking because it's like in the basement. You have to walk down the steps, like next to a townhouse, and it's called Village Natural. And just because we were talking about food, I ended up thinking about it. But it's like a more so completely vegetarian restaurant, but is all about natural and raw foods. And it's fun because you can have they have like gourmet items as well, but you can also go there for like vegetarian chicken nuggets and just kind of like have like bar food or something, but in a really kind of nice place. So it's just interesting how it's like multi-dynamic. But in terms of exploring, there's so many famous landmarks there that's really hard to just kind of, I would really have to rack my brain. But even just to say something about Pennsylvania that a lot of people don't know, where I'm staying during the pandemic, my next door neighbors are cows. So I literally have cows like 2 feet away from me. Like they're like right there. So like that's pretty
Really?
interesting. Yeah, they're like right there. I can touch them.
So my question for that is, can you milk a cow, Lindsay?
I have never milked a cow. Would I? I mean, I think that would be an interesting experience for sure. And I am all about experience, good or bad. I just want to try everything. So I would totally at least try milking a cow. I'd be scared to death because I wouldn't want to hurt them, but I think they're tough. They're tough cookies.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. How about you, Stephany?
Well, Tito, right now I'm living in Caracas, Venezuela, and in Caracas we have the most impressive mountain in the world called El Ávila National Park. But in Venezuela we have amazing beaches with the most beautiful kind of blue in the world, trust me. If you come with me to Venezuela, Tito, you will fall in love.
Oh my God, I'm very sure, Stephany, I won't fall in love just with the beach, just with the mountains. I will fall in love with a Venezuelan man as well. I'm very sure of that. Roxy, how about? Oh yeah, I know a lot about your home city, but for the sake of our viewers, tell them something that they still don't know about Baguio City.
Well, I think the Philippines and Baguio City is a melting pot of culture. It's very diverse. Like for me, I am actually half Filipina, half Belgian, and normally you would expect seeing a lot of Filipinos, but you would see Americans, you would see Koreans everywhere. So it's very diverse. It's very welcoming. The people are so nice and yeah, very very diverse. So I'm proud. I'm proud of having this kind of diversity, and of course, we have. I have to flex. We have a lot of picturesque beaches and crystal clear waters. So the Philippines, being to the Philippines, or if you plan to visit the Philippines, I know you would have a great time. You would enter with a smile and definitely not leave without one.
Especially if, for example, Roxy will be meeting you at the airport and I am by her side, and we will welcome you with such a very heartwarming hello, mabuhay, and enjoy the Philippines. You will enjoy because I talk endlessly. Even if you're sleepy, I will still keep on talking and talking, and you will just have to tell me to stop before I will really stop. Micahala, how about you?
Well, I think that everyone already knows The Little Mermaid, which is centered in the middle of Copenhagen. And I mean, we are the land of fairy tales, so we are famous for Hans Christian Andersen. But something I'm not sure if people know is that we also have the two oldest amusement parks in the world, which is Tivoli Gardens in the middle of Copenhagen, and then we have Bagen, which is outside of Copenhagen. And those are just such fun places to go, and they have Christmas special and Halloween special and summer special, so every time you go, no matter what time of the year, it's a completely new experience to go there. And in Tivoli, they have like this special amusement that is made in honor of Hans Christian Andersen, where you're in this flying suitcase and you get taken through every single one of his fairy tales. And they have recreated the fairy tales in beautiful sculptures. And there's a voiceover telling you, about the fairy tale. And it's such a beautiful experience. So that's something I hope that everyone will go to if they come to Denmark.
Nicola, you're making me want to visit Denmark. Really, that's really my bucket list. I need to visit Scandinavia after the pandemic is over. But before that, we need to welcome you here in the Philippines first. Now we're going to the specific questions. These are questions I tailor made for each one of you. So it's not hard. It's going to make you smile a little, just a little. All right, Lindsay, you're on first. Lindsay, the U.S. has a woman vice president right now, Kamala Harris. If you are given an audience with Vice President Kamala Harris, but instead of going to her office, you'll be invited to her kitchen to cook for her. What will you cook for her first?
Okay, so I don't know if everyone knows this about me, but I love to cook and bake. And when I do this, I always do like a healthy variation if I'm baking. I don't use refined flour or any type of refined ingredient. Really, it's just all natural. I don't really even use sugar too much unless it's a natural like applesauce or something like that. And even whenever it comes to just like food, like dishes, I have such a range. So I have this, what is it, spinach artichoke ravioli that I have. And then I have this Buddha stir fry, which is a really good stir fry dish with tofu. So I would have to think, I would have to get a gauge of like what her taste is. But that spinach artichoke ravioli is so good, and I love Italian. It's amazing. So I would probably do an Italian dish with spinach artichoke ravioli. For dessert, I would probably do maybe like a banana foster. I think that's really good, and it's kind of fun to make, especially if you have all those like flames and like the fire coming out. And then also I just love muffins, so I'd probably just have muffins scattered around, like a different assortment of like banana bread, like chocolate chip banana bread muffins. And then I have this cheesecake chocolate muffin, this pumpkin cheesecake chocolate muffin. Oh, it's to die for. So that's like a little bit of my spread I could like get an idea of.
And then while the two of you are eating, she will ask you, all right, Lindsay, so what project do you want me to support for you? Nothing big, nothing earth-shaking, but let's start small. What project would you want me to support you personally?
Well, of course, I mean, that's why I'm here. It's about the environment. So, I mean, there's nothing really small about the environment. You really need to put everything you have into it. I feel we need to make the Paris Agreement a little bit more ambitious, because even though it's been around for a while, a lot of countries haven't met that goal that they set for themselves, and really even helping other developmental countries with limiting their emissions. So as our first act, whenever we are planning on going back into the Paris Agreement, I want to go back in with some ambition, with holding ourselves a little bit more accountable and holding other countries accountable as well. So I feel like we lack that fire, and I would just request and ask for a little bit more of that.
Thank you so much for that answer, Lindsay. And Kamala will love you for that, definitely. Stephany! Stephany, mi amor, let us talk about Maracaibo. Why is Maracaibo,
Okay.
why do we call Maracaibo La Tierra del Sol Amada?
¿Por qué se llama?
¿Por qué se llama la tierra del sol amada?
Llamamos a Maracaibo la Tierra del Sol Amada porque hace muchísimo calor. Es una tierra muy caliente, pero una tierra muy hermosa.
Tierra del Sol Amada literally means the land loved by the sun, because it's always very sunny and it's always very hot.
Because, so are you saying that in Maracaibo there is only rainy and hot season? Only 2 seasons?
Hay solamente como 2 temporadas.
Normalmente suele hacer solo muchísimo calor, pero también
Oh,
por una de las tierras más frías, y te voy a explicar por qué.
Okay, it's usually just very sunny and very hot, so there's very little rain. But it's also known as one of the coldest city in Venezuela, strangely, but I'll tell you why.
Let me tell you, como hace tanto calor, todas las personas tienen aire acondicionado en sus casas, en tiendas, en centros comerciales y en autos. Es por eso que siempre hace mucho frío.
Since it's very hot, every single person, every house and every building and every car has air conditioning, and they like to keep it very cold.
oh, I see. So that is Maracaibo. So I will go to Caracas because Caracas is colder. It's colder in Caracas.
Yes. En Caracas el clima es agradable, hay muchas montañas y tenemos mucha neblina.
Caracas the weather is definitely nicer. It's a bit colder. It's fresh. It's a fresh climate. There's a lot of mountains, a lot of green.
Very nice, very nice. I'll go to Caracas, Stephany. All right, Roxy. You wore a gown, a very green gown, during the finals of Miss Earth, courtesy of my dear friend, your friend, Turian Fernandez. But that is not my question. The question is this. If that rice terraces inspired gown can be magically transformed into another kind of rice terraces, where would you have it spread and have another rice terraces magically appear before your eyes?
Well, since it was inspired by the Banaue rice terraces, I would definitely also want it to appear in Bissau Mountain Province, because this was actually inspired by also, other than how beautiful it looks. I'm a granddaughter of farmers, so I was able to visit the place where my grandparents, like, pagtatanim nila ng palay in those areas, and it just gives me the goosebumps being able to give that to the people. Na this is the beauty of the Cordilleras.
Wow, that's very nice. And a big shout out to Rian Fernandez. He will be my guest on Sunday. All right.
Watch Tita.
Micahala, how about you? This is my question. You are an actress. Okay, you've starred in a movie, you've voiced over in animation. If you are, as Miss Fire 2020, if you will be offered a movie project to star in your movie, would you rather be a superhero or an ancient warrior protecting the environment?
Oh my God, that is a hard question. Can I say both? I think
Sure.
both would be amazing. I would say for sure an ancient warrior protecting the environment. I love movies like, where it takes place in nature or the jungle or back in time. I think we have so many movies with time traveling, so I think that would be really fun. Something that I would love though is I have starred in a movie where we created awareness for the abused women and children's home in Denmark, where I played a woman who came from domestic violence. And those kind of roles are something that I would really love to have more on. I actually just took on a new role that I'm preparing for, also playing a woman of domestic violence. So those are my favorite kinds, those that takes place in present time, where we can really create awareness on issues that are going on in our society as of right now. But I would love both of them. I mean, superhero or ancient warrior, I would love to play both.
But definitely, I will be watching your movies, especially the one that you did a voiceover for Star Wars, a short film, Star Wars Fools
Yeah.
Array or something. And then there's the Vetter Nod or the there's this other film that you also did. It was it like it's like a comedy or something, but it's not much, but it's in Danish. So
Oh, okay.
do update us about your future movies because I'm really going to watch it even on YouTube. For
Thank
definitely,
you.
it will be there. Okay, back to you, Lindsay. Lindsay, everyone knows if you are a model, you're a professional model. Now that you are Miss Earth 2020 and you are given the authority to call the shots for your first big photo shoot as Miss Earth 2020, give me the concept and how do you want your photo shoot done? Your very first photo shoot as Miss Earth 2020 and you're calling the shots. How will it look like?
Okay, so I've even had this kind of in my head before that I really thought about. And I really love jungles and rainforests. So I would really either like to implement a shoot surrounding like just being in the jungle and having just that like tropical, just wetland like vibe to it. And then also I feel like we could go completely opposite and go completely dry and be in, because Africa is one of my favorite continents, and just go into like the safari mode. So have like just that dry, vast desert behind me with a bunch of different like wildlife. So we can have, I always need to have that wildlife because I love animals. I'm completely obsessed. So I would like to focus a lot on that because they have a lot to do with our ecosystem and our life cycle. So I feel like we need to really highlight that. So I would either like to have like the wet tropical like rainforest vibe, or maybe just go completely dry and do a wildlife like safari type vibe. So that would be difficult. I think green looks okay on like brunettes, but then earth tones I feel like look okay on everyone. So even from that aspect, I can't really tell, but it would definitely be one of those two for sure, hands down.
And I'm so sure also, Lindsay, that your agency is listening right now and they will take a note of what you just said and plan a shoot around that concept because it will be very beautiful. I'm very sure of that. All right. Stephany, I'm very sure you will need your interpreter for this question. Stephany, mi amor. Stephany,
I'm here.
Zreik is, according to my research, Zreik, your surname has Lebanese or Arabic origins.
Yes.
Can you clear that up to that detail to us?
Mi apellido es Stephany Zreik. Se pronuncia
Zreik.
Zreik. Yes,
Is
of
it
course.
Lebanese or?
Yes. Es un apellido libanés. Mi abuelo, por parte de padre, era libanés. Ya él falleció. Aún no he tenido la oportunidad de conocer el Líbano, pero espero ir muy pronto. Aunque primero tengo que ir a Filipinas a conocerte.
Yes, that's my last name. It comes from my grandfather on my father's side, and it's from Lebanon. Yes, I haven't had the chance to visit Lebanon, but first I need to go to the Philippines and meet you, of course.
You know, talking to the four of you right now, I feel like I really have to wish for all the three of you to join me and Roxy here in the Philippines because we would love to welcome you and to host you here. Okay, Roxy. Hi, nako, my good. I'm speaking in their language. Roxy, If this was a physical pageant, a real physical pageant, and you as a host delegate, um, where will you bring them to anywhere in the Philippines? The very first place you will bring them to?
Ooh, I would be biased if I would say Baguio. Sige, Manila. Maybe Palawan because of the rich marine life and biodiversity. I think that this is one of the places that is most loved here in the Philippines, and I hope my eco sisters are familiar with that since it is known worldwide. So I would bring them there definitely, and maybe we could all be mermaids there.
Oh my God, I'm pretty sure that Lindsey, Stephany, and Micahala will enjoy Palawan, especially if you bring them to El Nido or to Coron or even to the place where all the rich people go to Amanpulo. Oh my God, if they go there, they'll be treated like queens. Actually, you know, one thing is that all the previous Miss Earth candidates have experienced being treated like royalty the minute they set foot in the Philippines. You are really treated like queens, and that's why they enjoy it here. But since it's pandemic, we'll make sure you'll be treated like queens the minute you go away to the Philippines. Mikala, I have a special question for you. Mikala, Mikala, your full name is Mikala Petrovna Rubenstein. Is
Yes.
Petrovna Russian?
It's Ukrainian.
Okay. So
Yeah.
your mom is part Ukrainian or full Ukrainian?
So my mom is full Ukrainian and came to Denmark when she was 12 years old with her family. They had to leave Ukraine and just leave everything behind and start all over. And my dad is actually Danish and Israeli, so it's a complete mix.
Oh wow. So you have Ukrainian, you have Danish, you have Israeli. So you're a Jewish, Danish, Ukrainian, and what kind of a
Yes.
pastry? What kind of a pastry would that be? A Danish pastry with Russian um, caviar and Israel. Oh my goodness, it's going to be something else. Oh my goodness, I'm really enjoying all these questions because I really created all this for the four of you. For Lindsey, back to you, Lindsey. Am I correct? I checked your bio. You have been to Italy, Turkey, Cyprus, Israel, Greece. Have I missed any country that you have already visited?
Oh my goodness. I've been those in my bio, that was particularly for where I studied abroad, but where I've been just from work and just travel. Oh, I've been to so many places. I've been well, like South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia. I've been to Sweden. I've been to um there's so many different Germany.
South
France.
Africa.
Yeah, so many places. South Africa is honestly my second home. So South Africa is very special to me. I've lived there for a while actually, and I would go back each year for about like 5, 6 years. So South Africa is a very special place for me.
So it will be very hard for you if I ask which one of those countries would be your favorite.
Ooh, yeah, that's going to be very difficult. So I find something beautiful in each country I visit. So like in Peru, I mean, seeing Machu Picchu, that was honestly breathtaking. And being able to be in such an environment where it has so many mysteries surrounding it and so many questions that are unanswered, I love that because it just kind of leaves it up to the imagination. And then there's in Germany, again, I'm talking about burgers. I don't know why. We've just been talking about food so much. But I had one of the best like halloumi, like vegetarian burgers, which halloumi is just cheese. And I haven't seen a lot of burgers like that before, but Germany's known because they created the hamburger. So they know how to do that. They're very culinary with that. And then in Italy, again, also beautiful, also great food. But I love architecture as well, so I can really appreciate that. So just finding anything really in Europe or even Russia, like they just have so much history, so much background, so much knowledge that you can just kind of absorb. And I always like to go on tours whenever I visit each country as well, just so I can properly understand the history of it. So, I mean, I know I'm going on, but to be honest, I cannot think of one favorite country. I love them all. I love to travel. it's just who I am. It's my lifestyle. And I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't gone to each country. So I just have to say all of them. I can't choose just one.
Agree. But somebody from our, well, someone from our viewers asked you this question: have you been into any Asian country at all, or not yet?
So the only part of like Asia I've been into was like the Turkish side of Asia, and I've been to the Middle East, but not. So I've been to like Israel, Jordan, some places there, but Asia specifically, like I see some of the Malaysia, Singapore, Japan. I haven't been to any of those countries, unfortunately. I'd love to go to Hong Kong because I know that they're very forward with their technology. So there are a lot of places. I will say I've been to the Beijing airport, but I never left the airport. And I will say I've had some of the best noodles in my life in Beijing airport. So I can only imagine going outside of the airport what I would experience. So I definitely do need to explore more of the Asia continent. But mostly, yeah, just like the Turkish side of Asia is like the main part that I've really seen. So Asia, I've been on the continent, but I haven't explored in depth.
But if you go to Asia, you need to be here in the Philippines first.
Yes, yes, that's my
Definitely.
first stop. First stop,
Yes,
hands down.
definitely. All right, Stephany, have you traveled to other countries also, or have you visited other places?
Yes, of course. I have been living in Barcelona, Spain, during 2 years. Barcelona, Madrid, Europa in general is really beautiful. And my mother right now, she is living in USA. So I will be in USA for Christmas, and I hope to be with Lindsey in this Christmas.
We're in the U.S. We're in the U.S. Stephany. All
In
right,
Houston, Texas.
Lindsey, that's going to be a longish flight from New York to Houston, but it's going to be worth it because if the two of you see each other, it's going to be fun. I'm
Yes,
really looking forward to that Christmas, and you have to send me pictures also if the two of you get together. All right,
Of
Roxy,
course, Tito.
I won't ask you about your travels. I will ask you this instead. Well, since you said earlier that you are, oh, where are you, Roxy? I lost you. Is there a brownout? Yeah, there you are. Roxy, you said earlier that, well, of course, we all know that you are part Filipina, part Belgian. So, if I will bring you a big package of Belgian chocolates and you offer me a basket of strawberries, what will you do? What will you make out of it? Oh, you're muted. I okay, you're still muted here. Only your beautiful face is appearing on screen. Yeah, you're still muted, dear. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now I'm doing some lip reading here, but I think I get what she's saying. She's going to transfer to a part where the signal is stronger. Micahala, how about you? What other countries have you visited?
Well, I would say just like Lindsay, I love to travel and I grew up just traveling all over the world. So I've been to, of course, numerous places in Europe. It's so easy to get to. I mean, Germany, Norway, Sweden, Iceland, Greece, Italy, Spain, almost everywhere. Then, of course, Israel. I've been to the States almost everywhere. I have so much family in the States, and I used to live in New York, so that is almost a second home to me. So I have a lot of family. Then, of course, England, I have a lot of family. I actually have family in Belgium as well. And I would love to go to more Asian countries. I only been to Thailand, so I would love to go to the Philippines. I would love to go to also China, of course, Japan, Egypt, and yeah, just places that have old history is something that I'm really excited about. There's something that not many people know about called I think it's called like the Eastern Islands. And apparently it's like there was this very old civilization and they completely disappeared. And I would just love to go there and see that. And every time I talk about people like, what place? Like, what is that? So I just love like history.
Oh my goodness. You said earlier, Micahala, that you also have been to New York several times. So there's the possibility of you and Lindsey seeing each other in the Big Apple. My goodness. It's going to be
I
another
know.
reunion. Roxy, you have your assignment.
Sorry
you
for
have
that,
to,
Tito.
you have to. Well, back to Roxy. My question for you earlier was that if I bring you a box of Belgian chocolates and then you have a basket of strawberries with you, Baguio strawberries,
Ooh.
what will you make of that?
Wow, that would be so nice, Tito, because I'm a sweet tooth. That would be the best gift. Well, I would definitely maybe make, okay, chocolate strawberry jam. Well, Baguio is known for our strawberry jam, so maybe add a twist to it. And what better ingredient to add than Belgian chocolate? And actually, my sister, when she visits here in the Philippines, she has a lot of chocolate. So maybe I'm gonna do that, Tito, and maybe I could give it to you right back. The
But I
finished
love
product.
that. But the strawberry jam, I love it. I always buy the Baguio strawberry jam all the time.
Have you tried
All
ube
right.
jam, Tito?
I have, but strawberry is always my favorite. Lindsay, okay, this is a bit of a serious question, but not as serious as some people would think, but it's really something new to my ear. We've heard of adopt children programs, adopt an orphanage program, but you have also an adopt a highway program. Can you
Yeah.
tell us about that?
Of course. So Adopt a Highway program, I discovered it when I was super young, and that's whenever I joined. So I had been a member for just years, all throughout childhood. And Adopt a Highway is literally just like it sounds. So you're adopting a piece of road where you just kind of vow to take care of it and not raise it because you can't raise it, but you just take care of it in a manner of keeping it clean, picking up the litter, really just focusing on making it look beautiful. So I literally have a highway and it's named after me too. So there's a sign and it says Lindsey Coffey, and like that's my highway. And I just whenever I see that she needs upkeep and taken care of, you just go and you clean her up, and then you just on repeat and keep doing that. So yeah, if anyone ever asks me if I have kids, I can't really say, oh, I adopted a highway, but it's similar since like it does require a lot of time and like significant effort, but I mean, it's well worth it for sure.
Yeah, actually, if I'm trying to visualize it, it's going to take a lot of physical work as well because
Oh yes.
you're adopting a highway. You're like if here in the Philippines, if you adopt a highway here in the Philippines, you're going to burn under the heat of the sun, and oh, I couldn't imagine myself doing it unless if it's going to be cold and wintry or something like that. All right, thank you for that answer, Lindsay. Stephanie, hola, mi amor.
Hola, mi
Stephanie,
amor.
okay, I think the translator will need to translate this. What is the weirdest thing you have ever eaten?
¿Qué es lo más raro que has comido?
Una vez tuve que comer hormigas, pero no lo sabía. Después que la comí me dijeron, oh, comiste hormigas.
Once I had to eat ants, but I didn't know they were ants. They told me after.
Oh, but they look like ants, Mr. Translator. But surely they look like ants.
Sí, pero las hormigas se ven como hormigas. ¿Cómo que no sabías que eran hormigas?
Era un restaurante donde la temática era que se comía a oscuras, con la luz apagada. No
No.
vuelvo a ir nunca más.
It was sort of a themed restaurant when the theme was that everything was dark and you could not see what you were eating, and I will never go back there, by the way.
Oh my God. Well, at least if it's any consolation, at least they ask you to eat ants only. What if it's something weirder? Then I'm not sure if I could eat.
Raro todavía.
Yeah, I can eat ants, but not cucaracha. Not cucaracha. Anyway, Micahala, What is the weirdest thing that you've ever eaten?
I think the weirdest thing was before I went vegetarian or vegan. It was like many years ago when I was a child. We went to this restaurant that had like exotic meat, and I think I found out it was a kangaroo or a crocodile or something like that. And I just remember it tasting like chicken, so I didn't even know until afterwards.
Well, I'm pretty sure it must have been crocodile because crocodiles, well, they taste like a combination of beef and chicken. So it must have
Oh.
been a crocodile pizza or something like that. There's a lot of that in Australia, the crocodile pizza. Okay, Lindsay, how about you? What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? You're muted. You're muted, Lindsay.
So I've been a vegetarian for like 20 years. Like I'm 28, so like basically my whole life. So I haven't eaten so many weird things. Yeah, so I mean, okay, maybe there was this one time in our yard, growing up, there were onions growing, but we didn't grow them, but you could just pick them up out of the ground and like eat them. And I've done that before. So like if you would have like kind of looked in at me, you would have just seen a girl on the ground eating like grass essentially. But really it was food, it was onions. I don't know how, I don't really remember. It's very vague. I don't know how they got there. Obviously it was safe, or like my mom wouldn't let me do it. So I mean that had to have looked a little bit odd. I know it's not very odd to eat an onion, but from a visual aspect and outside looking in, that probably looked a little weird, just like seeing a little girl like eating grass. But in terms of actual food, the weirdest thing, yeah, I'm so boring when it comes to that because I've been a vegetarian my whole life, so it's all like plants and vegetables.
All right. Before we continue asking you questions, let me give a shout out to some of our viewers, especially our Miss Earth 2020 Eco Angel, Brittany Dixon. She's watching us. And Brittany, hello. Hello, my dear. Uh, Brittany said something to Stephany about she also ate ants. I know because Brittany loves insects and everything. So she also ate ants, which tasted like apples. I cannot connect an ant with an apple, except for the fact that they both start with the letter A. But perhaps it's an apple that is glazed. That's the reason why there's so many ants surrounding it. And we also big shout out to Kim JQ, um, Starla Abalayan, again, Jess Tolentino. We have a lot of viewers right now, actually. And they're all congratulating the four of you. Sebastian Cambro Hudson also. This is going to be an international audience for tonight, and I'm happy with that. Roxy, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Okay, it's really weird. I ate jellyfish, but I didn't know it was jellyfish until after I ate it. That's when they told me it was jellyfish. And it's quite ironic, Tito, because I have a big mark on my legs of a sting of a jellyfish. So I think the jellyfish were like, oh, she's taking revenge. But I would never do that. I think jellyfish are quite cute, maybe.
How was it presented to you on the plate? I'm sure they look like jellyfish.
Tito, and pancet, like small bits of jellyfish mixed
Oh,
together in
I
pancet. Yep.
see. Okay, so it's like one of the ingredients in the noodle, and they said that you were eating something like a fish, but it's actually jellyfish.
Jellyfish. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's weird. All right, now we're back to another common question for the four of you. If this was a physical pageant again, who would you choose as a roommate? Someone who talks endlessly or someone who's quiet all the time? Okay, let me repeat the question. If this was a physical pageant and you could choose your roommate, who would you want to spend the competition with? Someone who talks endlessly or someone who's quiet almost all the time? Let's start with you. Stephany, hola mi amor.
Hola, mi amor.
Yeah.
Yo, yo prefiero escoger a alguien que hable muchísimo porque cuando estamos concursando hay muchos nervios y yo creo que lo más importante es estar con alguien que te haga distraer la mente y que te haga sonreír. Yo creo que cuando ríes todos los nervios se te quitan.
I think I would choose someone who really talks a lot because during a competition like this, you get really nervous. I think you need to, distract yourself and make you smile because when you smile, you're sort of calm and not nervous anymore.
Oh, Stephany, you will love me as a roommate because I talk and talk and talk
Yes,
endlessly.
I agree with you.
All right. Micahala, how about you? If you could choose your roommate in a physical competition, who would you prefer? The one who talks a lot or the one who's quiet all the time?
I mean, one who talks a lot and one who's quiet all the time. Can I have someone in the middle? That's a little bit of both. I would, if I had to choose between the two, I would probably go with someone who talks all the time. Because as Stephany said, you're nervous, you need to talk it out, and just to get to know someone else and to have that connection with someone and be able to swap information and talk to each other and about the other's country would be so much fun. I mean, to have someone who doesn't say a word, that would be awkward for me. So I would say someone who talks.
All right. Roxy, how about you? What kind of a roommate would you prefer to have?
Well, just like the other two queens, definitely a candidate who talks a lot in that way. Maybe she won't be annoyed by me because I also do talk a lot. And the past years I was blessed with like very talkative candidates, and I just really love building that kind of friendships because if you don't win, at least you gain something from it.
All right. Lindsay, how about you?
So I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and also say talkative because, I mean, of course, I would love both, and I can be both. But I am very talkative. Sometimes I just keep going on, and people have already seen that. I've even been told during one of my Miss Earth USA interviews, they wrote in the comment section, they were like more like Miss Earth talkative, not Miss Earth USA. So I do talk a lot, and having that, I agree with Roxy, having somebody else that does that as well, you can connect and you can really bond on that level, and you would carry away something so special from that friendship, just having a connection like that. So definitely more talkative.
All right. Thank you for those answers. We are taking in a question from one of our viewers, Jess Tolentino. To all the queens, what are you most looking forward to your reign as Miss Earth, Miss Air, Miss Water, and Miss Fire? Okay. We'll start with you again, Lindsay.
I am so excited. I was talking about this again to some of my Miss Earth USA team members. Since I'm new to this, I'm trying to get like a good gauge on what's accomplishable, what's not, what I can do. So really, I was told the sky's the limit. So I would love to work even with the United Nations and on their climate crisis, that they engage a lot with climate change and have a lot of summits regarding that and conferences. I would really like to individually speak and show each country the pros and cons, what they can provide us, what they kind of hurt us with in their emissions, but what their strength is as a country as well. And just to teach everyone about their own climate stories. So really to make my conversations with them personal and intimate, where they see the effects affect everyone and that they do have their story. They just have to find it. So there are so many things that I want to do and so many countries I want to visit. And I want it to be such a personal and intimate experience where, I mean, you just develop this passion and you're so passionate all together and you're just around that group of people. And that's how movements are created. So I want to start a movement, and that's what I really want to focus on during this reign.
Thank you so much for that answer, Lindsay. Stephany, mi amor, what are you looking forward to your reign as Miss Air?
Well, the most important thing in my life as an ambassador of Miss Earth organization is to make an impact on society, being a role model, a good example for other people with my behavior, with my actions, because it's really easy to be here giving a speech, but what really matters is our actions in the society. And I would like to be an example of perseverance, that nothing is impossible and effort leads to success. Because many people in my life told me that I never could be a queen, and I'm here, and this is everything in my life.
Okay, muchas gracias. How about you, Roxy? What are you looking forward to?
Well,
As you,
I'm very glad that after Miss Philippines Earth and now after Miss Earth, this did actually pave a way to a more inclusive reach. Because before, though I was very soft spoken, I had the potential to speak, but I just needed that platform for people to like listen to me. Because back then, like I felt like I was a nobody. No one would actually listen to me. So I think now I have the platform, and I just keep. I think environmental protection has grown in me day by day, and I now know that I have power in my voice. So I would continue to speak for different organizations. I have worked with Department of Agriculture and DNR, so I hope I could expand that more and have this more holistic knowledge when it comes to other environmental degradation. So it's going to be a fun-filled experience. And of course, I look forward to meeting my eco-sisters here in the Philippines.
okay, Micahala, how about you?
Thank you. Yes, I'm so happy about that question because I was talking about with a friend yesterday. I want to do everything. That's the problem. I really want to use this amazing platform that we have been giving to tell people about my advocacy. Now, what I believe is that everything is connected. All the things that we're facing, everything that is happening right now with the pandemic and with all of our climatic and environmental issues, what we're seeing right now with deforestation, that we're losing our ecosystems, the ice is melting, the carbon dioxide, global warming. I mean, everything is connected to each other. So for that, I think that you have to solve one issue, you have to kind of solve them all. And that's something I really want to push and use. I think the fact that everything is online is a big advantage to really broaden our reach and get out to everybody because everyone is online right now and everyone is aware of what's going on. So I think what I want to do is show how people can actually take action and make changes in their everyday life. Now, something that I am already planning on doing in my own country, because a big part of my advocacy is mental health. Now, I have been a victim of bullying when I was a child. So that's something I'm really big about, going out to schools and speaking up about bullying, and also programs on what we can do for children to have a better environment at the same time as what they can do with our environment. Because I have been a substitute teacher, and what I would teach the children in the school that I taught was that the whole school actually made a program where they would go and collect waste and do waste management. And they made it a whole competition between the grades in the school. And then the winner that had the most waste would win like tickets to a cinema, or they would win like this kind of prize. And that way the children engaged in a fun activity at the same time as they were educated on how to take care of our environment. So that's definitely something I want to do more of.
Thank you for that, Micahala. And I just wanted to give another shout out to our eco angel from Belgium, Kimberly Bosman. Hello, Kimberly. She's also watching us. And Jake Factor, shout out to Jake Factor. She says that, Micahala, you look like, you know, Olivia Jordan. Olivia Jordan was a Miss USA. Olivia Jordan. Yeah.
No, wait, I have to look it up.
Well, you look like a lot of Hollywood movie stars, and Lindsey looks like a supermodel. Yeah, the cheekbones, those cheekbones are to die for. Yeah, and Stephany looks like a goddess of the air, floating in the air. And Roxy looks like my daughter. Yeah, she really looks like my daughter. Yeah, well, anyways, we're in that part of the program where I'll be asking each one of you to give your parting words to all our viewers and tell them, well, not exactly your expectations, but um, your wishes. Your, like, if I will give each one of you, if I will grant a Christmas wish for each one of you that is related to your being Miss Earth, Miss Air, Miss Water, Miss Fire, what will that Christmas wish be? It's like a selfless wish for Christmas in relation to your crowns. What will your wish be? Let's start with you, Lindsey.
I definitely wish just to keep on pursuing our goals throughout all of this and really persevering over this pandemic. So I want this to be intimate. I want this to be that connection that I was briefly speaking on. I want to be able to connect with everyone worldwide. And fortunately, as mentioned with Micahala, yes, everyone's online right now. So we need to take advantage of that. And being able to connect with somebody personally on such on an individual level online, it's great. I'm grateful for that opportunity, and I really want to go after that. And I want to make the most that I can out of this reign, despite not knowing what's to come. But I want to make sure that I put my heart and soul into this, and my sister queens do the same. And we just continue to grow and inspire as people, as individuals, as queens, as leaders, and just as citizens of this world, because we're all sharing this planet. And we need to do this together. So that's what the message I want to say, and like to inspire people. And I want to thank everybody so much for all of their support and all of their messages on my Instagram. Like, it's been so overwhelming, and I'm trying so hard to get back to each and every one of you. And I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be able to do any of this without all of you, because you were my guiding light through all of this. You've taught me so much. You've helped me grow and really become the person I am now, and who the person I still want to be. So just thank you all so much. I'm so excited to start this journey together. And I'm just so excited with my Earth sisters as well, to get to know you guys and bond with you guys even more. So thank you guys all so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lindsey. Stephany, mi amor, what is your parting message? Your Christmas wish?
First of all, yeah. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much to all of the viewers who are watching us around the world for all your support and your positive comments about me. I'm sure that without you, my dream wouldn't be possible. And thank you so much, Tito, for this amazing interview, this amazing opportunity. Si puedo pedir un deseo, primero me gustaría pedirle a Dios y al destino que esta pandemia finalice. Luego de eso, me encantaría que la organización Mis Tierra hiciera posible que las 4 reinas estemos juntas y juntas podamos seguir trabajando por la Madre Tierra y por todas las causas que necesitan de nuestro apoyo.
Well, if I had one wish, I would ask God and destiny to finally end this pandemic. And secondly, I think I would ask the Miss Earth organization, or just so Miss Earth organization would get the chance to bring us all 4 queens together, so we can work shoulder to shoulder for Mother Earth.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias, Stephany. Roxy, how about you?
Well, as for me, my wish would definitely be that I hope our global response to this pandemic is also the same response we have for climate change, because it is just it's just one of the biggest problems that we are facing. Then, while our attention has been drawn towards the pandemic, we also have to be aware that Mother Earth is falling apart, and by 2030, our actions are already irreversible. And it is also said by 2050, humanity could crumble if we do not make sustainable choices now. So I think now we still have that fighting chance. So we should just make the most out of the time that we have now. We don't know when the world will end. We just have to be more responsible citizens, learn to walk lightly on Earth, and be better for the future. I trust in humanity. I still think we have a fighting chance. And of course, I just want to thank everybody for all the love and support. It is true that I always say this, we, the Eco Angels, soar higher with your love. You guys are amazing, and I just wish everybody safety.
Thank you so much for that, Roxy. Micahala, how about you?
If I had a wish, and it's only one, I mean, I would have so many, but I think I would wish that everybody understood the severity of the situation that we're facing with our climate change, and how, we really need to take action now, because we're already seeing the horrible end result many places around the world. So I would really wish for everyone to realize that we need to take action. Because unfortunately, as humans, usually we don't really understand the severity of something until it's staring us in the face. So I would really wish for that, so everyone can make their own individual choices and be more, as Roxy touched base on, be more sustainable and know the micro changes that they can do in their everyday life, because it can really help a lot. At the same time, I will say that now that we're talking about all of this climate change and how far we've already come and how the world is falling apart, this can also sound so negative. And I will say that in Denmark, we just had a survey show that the air pollution in Denmark has been reduced by 80% just throughout the pandemic. I mean, that is amazing, 80%. for such a short amount of time. So as a silver lining, I will say that we also can see how quickly we can turn things around and how little it can take to do so. So that would be my wish. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for having me here today. And thank you for everyone watching. And I hope you could all take something away from our talk today. I know that I could. I mean, I have the most intelligent queen sisters sitting with me today. And I learned every time someone is speaking, like, oh my God, they're so intelligent. So just thank you.
Thank you so much, Micahala. And before we end our program, I have one very special question. This is only for Lindsey, our Miss Earth 2020, and this is a very personal question, and I hope that it will put a smile on her face before she gives me an answer to this question. You know, here in the Philippines and in other many countries around the world, a lot of the young children are doing online schooling. Because of the pandemic, a lot of them have to study from home, study in front of a laptop, a computer, and not to be able to go to school and everything like that. Just like my 8-year-old niece, Alessi. And my 8-year-old niece, Alessi, told me, well, asked me yesterday, because I showed her your picture and I told her that's Miss Earth 2020 Lindsey Coffey. Oh, she's Miss Earth. So what does that mean to me? All right. So the question is this, Lindsey. How will you answer that question to an 8-year-old girl? You are Miss Earth 2020. What does that mean to me?
Well, if anyone knows anything about being outside, I feel like I'm just playing in nature, it's children, whether it's through their sports or just playing out in the backyard. So I would take her son, I would tell her, I would say every time you go outside and you get happy, you play, you're having fun, you get to see the environment around you, all this green, all this pretty colors, all these little cute animals that you see. I'm a voice for them and I help protect them. And I'm asking all of you to do the same. So you see all this love that you give. I'm sure she probably loves animals. A lot of kids do. So, and she loves playing outside. So I would tell her, take that love, take that little voice of yours and speak for them. Try to make this world a little better place. Like show that care and show that love and just spread it with one another and with all of your environments around you, all those little animals, all those little plants, all those flowers, if she loves flowers. So that's how I would describe it, just in a very animated way where you can connect with that environment around you. Whenever she sees those little critters running up the tree or she sees a beautiful flower, we're those voices, we're their protectors. And it's a little guardian angel and she can be that little guardian angel too. So that's how I would tell her.
Oh my God, you know my niece will be so thrilled when I show her this answer tomorrow morning. And with that, we come to the close of this season 3 premiere of Pageantry Norms. I'm so glad because every time we are premiering a particular season, it's always something very special. Um, our first season, it's another national pageant, the Philippines. Second season, it's with Miss Philippines Earth with Roxy. As I've said, Roxy is the only one who has guested in me 3 times already. And now, season 3 premiere with the 4 queens of Miss Earth, and I couldn't be happier. I'm really so happy, and because of that, I have already set the tone for the entire season. I call this by my holiday season because most of the episodes will be during Christmas and New Year, so everything will be fun. And having the 4 of you just makes it even more special. And I love doing this instead of like, okay, the press conference yesterday was all right, but you know, when you are just waiting for your turn to ask questions and there's 30 to 40 members of the media asking questions, I can only choose one and wait for my turn, and it's going to take eternity for me to get that second chance. But now I have the 4 of you to myself, and that makes me extremely happy. I'm very happy. I'm even happy. Stephany, I can call Stephany, mi amor. I'm so glad when I say to that because I have this instant bonding with Latinas. I don't know why, but it's just something that I like. But anyways, I'd like to thank Lindsey, Stephany, Roxy, and Micahala for spending this episode with me. I'd also like to thank Carousel Productions, Miss Lorraine, Miss Peachy, Mr. Ramon, and Irina, Reina, Mylene. Thank you for always being the vanguards of Miss Earth, and for always giving me the opportunity to talk to spend time with the queens. And I really look forward to that day when all four of you will be together in one event. That will be so, just thinking of it makes me feel giddy. I want to look forward to the day when the four of you are together in one stage and doing a particular environmental activity as well. That will make me very, very excited. And I wish all of you the best this Christmas. Even with the pandemic, I know that this Christmas will be very special for all of us. It may not be as fun filled, but we can always create fun in with our family members and all our loved ones. And it's going to be cold. Actually, the funny thing is, it's already cold in New York City. It's cold in Denmark. Where Roxy is in Baguio, it's the climate there is really cold as well. And in Caracas, mi amor, Stephany, is it cold there? Boy,
Yes. Well,
it's cold. My God.
the weather is really nice in Caracas, in Venezuela in general.
My God, you're all in nice weather while I'm here in hot and humid. But but I don't mind because I'm talking to the four of you, and I'm so happy that I'm spending this episode with all of you. I cannot stop myself from talking. I just keep on talking and talking. But again, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for gracing season 3 premiere of Pageantry Norms. I know that a lot of my followers, a lot of my viewers, and my will well, they appreciate the four of you being here, and they appreciate seeing you in a more relaxed state. Not very profound, so to speak, but more practical. And thank you so much. And on behalf of the Philippine Pageantry, my technical director, Gerard, and our overall director, Tristan Francisco, thank you so much for spending your time with us for season 3. Watch out for episode 2 of Pageantry Norms on December 6th. I promise another exciting episode, but we will be back on a Sunday afternoon on December 6th. Again, this is your blogger, Norman, for Pageantry Norms, saying goodbye, good evening, stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy life. Have a love life. Don't be like me with no love life yet, but always happy. Always happy. Thank you so much. Lindsey, Stephany, Roxy, and Micahala, I love the four of you. Big flying kiss to the four of you. I love the four of you, and I will definitely see you again. Thank you so much for staying with us this evening, or this afternoon, or this morning. Depends on wherever you are. And we will see you again in Pageantry Norms on next Sunday. Bye-bye for now. Let's all give our viewers a big flying kiss, ladies. Bye-bye, everyone. I hope you had fun with us tonight because I surely did. My nerves are here, but I still keep on talking. I will keep on talking until our broadcast ends. But that's me. That's certainly me. We will just keep waving and waving, but I'm still talking here. Yes, Lindsey.